And also Edom is in Arabia, most of it, the majority of it. So if you're going to say the white man is the Arabs, right? I mean, not the Arabs. The white man is Esau. That means they have land to them because the Bible takes place in the Middle East, right? So the land that's promised them that's fat of the earth has to be in the Middle East. So what land that white people have that's right now in the Middle East hasn't been taken away from them? Only Arabs. And Arabs is mixed. Arabs even mean mixed. Hello?
I'm still waiting for you to bring out the scripts.
So besides that, let's see. I guess I was gonna go. I'm gonna let you go now. I'll go over what you said. Your argument is. That's what I'm leading with.
Okay, so a lot of things that we hear the brothers bring out in regards to the nation of Edom is very much a contradictory of history in itself. As we continue to go through the scriptures, we've proved this time and time again, and no one has ever been able to even debunk it or rebuttal it. Well, we have historical references dating back even to the 12th century that called that said the Franks. You know who the Franks are? Called themselves the Franks.
Okay, yeah, the Franks.
Right, called themselves the sons of Edom.
I mean, historical fact. All right, let's go back.
But I'm still giving it. I'm still giving you.
Placed in Europe, man.
Hold on. You calling it Middle East and everything else. You're not letting me finish. You're not.
My bad.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, the reason why I was shining that light on it, because even though you say giving us land regions, people have migrated tremendously, and we have the migration patterns. It's documented. I mean, to just exclusively base a people that was just because they were on a particular land and then automatically assume that that's them, that will place you in error. That's number one. Number two, we have not only historical references, but we have the biblical references to show us that even the Greeks and the Romans are literally from the nation of Edom and built their empire. And we're going to prove that to you right now. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I'm going to prove it to you.
All right, come on.
Go to the book of Esther, chapter 3.
You said book of Esther?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Esther.
Book of Esther.
Esther.
Book of Esther.
Yep, we'll read it for you. Chapter 3. Start at verse 1.
All right, my phone is acting up right now. I'll trust you to read from it. Can one of y'all read this book of Esther, chapter 3?
Yeah, we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it. Verse 1. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things, the king Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So what we're reading in Esther chapter 3 is names Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Right? Are you able to see that?
No, I actually don't. Because
you have a Bible? Do you have a King James Bible with you?
No, it's not in front of me right now. I'm I'm not. I use my phone, and my phone is acting up right now. I guess when I'm on the phone with you, I can't listen and get to it. So, say that verse again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, read it again for him real quick.
Okay. The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things, the king Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So it called Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. If you look at in any Bible from for resources, it'll tell you that an Agagite is from Esau's lineage. All right, and we know you are who your father is. So Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, would be an Edomite. All right. According to the scriptures, he's an Edomite. Do you
see that? I gotta prove that. But
no. I mean, what are you saying? You gotta pull it.
Yeah, you ain't proving nothing to me. You just read it.
Hold on.
Take it as it is. I don't have to accept that.
Hold on. Okay. Let's go to 1 Samuel. Hold on. Yo. Okay, hold on. Once again, I'll let you get once again with Israel, this is what you get into when you start hitting scriptures. I was quiet and I was silent. I let you go into it. I said, well, you got any more scriptures? You said, that's what I have for mine right now. And you stopped. Now I'm going over what we have and you now want to cut me off.
I didn't cut you off. You asked me a question.
Right.
I said, I don't really understand what you're saying.
Okay, that's why we're going to another that's why we're going to another scripture.
I give you an example right now of what you should. Well, so you have to articulate to me.
Okay. So watch this. Okay. So watch this. 1 Samuel chapter 15. Since you didn't understand Haman, you don't know who an Agag is or an Agagite. We're gonna read it to you. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 5.
Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 5. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
The Amalekites, read.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt.
Come on.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
So now we're reading in 1 Samuel 15 that Agag is the king of the Amalekites, which that's once one of Esau's sons. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so now Agag is the king of the Amalekites. Okay, that was the point that we wanted to prove. So if you go back to, okay, so Agag, an Agagite, Agag, and Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, would be of Esau's lineage, according to the scriptures, because Agag is an Amalekite. All right. So now go back to Esther chapter 3. Read verse 2 again. Oh, excuse me, read verse 1.
Okay. go back. Esther chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
The Agagite. The son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. So you are who your father is. So Haman, the son of Hammedatha, would be an Edomite, according to the scriptures.
I don't see how you prove that now. I mean, they don't prove that book in the Arabs. They still the Middle East.
Listen, the only thing we're showing you is, according to the scriptures, Haman would be of the lineage of Esau. Would he not?
All you did right there was just read the Bible and said, according to that, that is.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you a question right now.
Oh no, it's not. It's not white people.
So I didn't say if it was white people or not. I said, according to the scriptures, he would be of the lineage of Esau, that lineage of Edom.
I agree with you on that.
Right. I didn't say he was white yet. So you agree with that?
Okay, I agree with you. Yes.
That's the point. Now, Esther chapter 16, verse 10.
Rest of
Esther, yeah.
Okay.
So
the rest of
Chapter 15.
16.
this is in the Apocrypha.
Let me get it.
First Esther chapter 16.
Yep. 16, verse 10.
Okay. The rest of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10. For Ammon, a Macedonian.
Now, in this right here, the scriptures clear us up a little bit more. It calls him a Macedonian. The scriptures call Haman a Macedonian now. Haman a Macedonian. Read again from the top.
The rest of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10. For Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Hammedatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood, and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
So it gave us a little clue right there, him being a Macedonian. For what the Bible is pointing out now, something for us. First Maccabees 1 and 1. Because when you read in that chapter, it tells you that he was translating the kingdom of the Macedonians to the Persians.
The book of First Maccabees. You want to wait for him to get it?
I don't know if he has a Bible or not, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going up, though.
Go ahead.
First Maccabees,
First Maccabees.
chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Now, do we have pictures of Alexander and Philip, his father? Do we have physical pictures of them right now? You can.
Showing me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Google pictures of what now? I can Google it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Google Alexander.
I know Alexander the Great is. Alexander the Great.
He's an Arab?
So now what about him?
Is he an Arab?
No, he's not Arab.
No, he's a white man.
Oh, I got some answers for that.
He's a so-called white man. So you got pictures of it, like I said, a picture worth 1,000 words. You have a picture. You have a picture. You have a picture of who the Macedonians were. Now, when you understand the Macedonians, they lived by a strict rule. They didn't let others into their armies until way later, until the Romans started doing it. But once again, this links up another prophecy, Numbers chapter 24 and verse 20. We're going to read that for you. So as we continue to go through the scriptures, you notice we have not once touched color. We're going through lineage.
The book of Numbers, chapter 24 and verse 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said.
So this is now future prophecy. He took up a parable when he looked on Amalek, which is from the nation of Edom. Amalek is one of his sons. Now what he's going to say, come on.
Amalek was the first of the nations.
He was the first of the nations to have kings set up. They were the ones setting up kings and rulerships. All right, come on.
But his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
This is why the hot debate with who's Edom right now, because you know, and I know, and the rest of Israel knows, and the world knows that the fate of Edom is to be destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth. Therefore, this big, great tug of war is going on between those who are saying that Esau is Japhet and the Arab man and all this other stuff. But somehow magically, everybody's confused on that. But somehow magically, you know you're an Israelite. That's madness. Read.
Verse 21. And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place.
Remember when we read up in 1 Samuel? Saul passed over him like, okay, y'all showed us kindness. Y'all, we're gonna bypass you. Strong is thy dwelling place. But go ahead.
And thou puttest thy nest in a rock.
They put their nest in the rocks. This is why you have the words, people calling them Caucasian and things of that nature. Come on.
Verse 22. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted.
So nevertheless, all of Edom gonna be destroyed. Come on.
Until Ashur shall carry thee away captive.
Now this is the prophecy. Come on. Yeah, this. No, this is a future prophecy. Watch, read.
Verse 23. And he took up his parable and said, alas, who shall live when God doeth this?
Who's going to live when God doeth this? Come on.
And ships shall come from the coast of Chittim.
The same thing we read up in 1 Maccabees 1:1, and it happened. He came from, where did Alexander come from? Chittim. All right. Letting you know, once again, this whole verse talking about Edom. Letting you know the Macedonians is the Edomites, man. Now we have physical busts of them, and we have a book, once again, primary source reference from the 1st century, Suetonius, that states that the Greeks and the Romans, the Trojans and the Romans, are kinsfolks. They're the same people. Out of their own mouth.
You said the Romans and what's the name? All right. Kinsfolks, right?
They're the same.
I'm coming Maccabees. I'm gonna try to find it. It's a part of Maccabees. I think one is chapter 5, where Judah he attacks Esau, and then another one he sees the Romans. So you just said they're related right there. That's in the same book of Maccabees, right there. So in the same book right there. I'm gonna find it right now.
Yeah. I know. What,
same book right there. You just said the connection right there. So you just said they connected right there. They're related. So if he's seeing the Romans, and the Romans is in one book he's killed Esau. He's attacking Esau, and then right here he's attacking the Romans. He's saying it's two different people right here.
No. It's not saying. No, listen. No, they're not saying it's different. You don't understand politics. You don't understand like today. You would have America hold on. Like today, you have America. They will go against Russia, but they're the same, come from the same background. You're looking at politics in Maccabees, my man. You're not looking at the nations like that. That's political. The Maccabees is about politics happening. See, this is what have not been taught to folks, but the politics that's going on in 1st and 2nd Maccabees is very high level, to the facts where even you get Israel forming political sects like Pharisees and Sadducees. Out of that, you get the Herodians who brung in Edom. So this is all politics. You're not realizing that it's war and politics, just like we have today.
That's right.
You understand? So you can't go and look and say, well, they're fighting them, but they're not fighting this group. No, because that group had formed a different governmental system, and that's what you have living under that guise today. Can you say you living underneath? No, are you living under? Are you living under? Are you living under? Sir. I was gonna say, no, it's not about that, and we having a good conversation. What I'm saying to you is this: the so-called white man that's over here in America, had he not come from someplace else? Well, why he calling himself different? Well, why is he broken up into two different sects? Why is the so-called white man over here calling himself American, but you get the white man that's overseas called himself British or English, and they come from the same place?
Well, what do all white people call themselves?
No. Somebody's gonna. I don't know how well versed you is in overseas, but they don't go by the same creed that America's laid out for us. You in the land of Babylon, the greatest land of confusion. But people,
historians say that white people, this is white historians say their bloodline is from Caucasus Mountains. That's Caucasians. And who is also from there? What you want to deny in the Bible? The Khazaria, where Ashkenaz tissue comes from. It was from what? Japheth.
Let's read it. Let's read a source. Let's read a source. You got it, Jay?
Esau's bloodline. They have a manner, right? So they're born with men. His ways of thought. I mean, like how their action is, right? So his manner is to want to kill Jews. Right? To do that. And when he does this, he thinks he's doing God's service. This is God's talking about Edom, right? I say it's Babylon, they're the same thing and everything like that. Who wrote a book that promised to kill Jews?
Nah, man.
They say, I've been commanded to cast terror in the hearts of non-believers.
Listen.
They profess there is one God and Muhammad is their prophet, and will chop them by their necks and fingers.
Listen. Listen, you're drawing conclusions based upon human reaction, and we're drawing our conclusions from the scriptures. But hold on. Who you think live in Dubai right now? You think those are really the Arabs? You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Listen. Okay. Listen. Why are you basing everything on color?
Right.
Esau's black.
Okay.
Red because of red of the earth. Adam, red of the earth. Evil. You want to go by that or not? That's evil. You in a box. You in a box, sir.
Huh?
You're in a box. You're in a box because you listen. Hold on. You're in a box because you're going on color, and we just went on lineage. No. Colors means nothing. Listen. Listen. Okay. Listen to this.
We don't have no covenant. They say they have the covenant now. Arabs don't care about no covenant, but the Arabs do.
Yeah, we studied it, but let me ask you this. I'm Listen. But okay. Okay, well, we having a dialogue, but when you run off a series of rants, we're not having a dialogue anymore. You're just ranting. So here's what I'm trying. No. Actually, we supposed to be communicating, and if you have a communication, it's supposed to be two-way. You just ranting off. You made a bunch of statements that's incorrect. No. Well, you can jump in whenever you feel like you want to jump in, but slow down. Here's the point. You ran off a bunch of statements about the Arab man, and you ran off a bunch of things about, his position and how he does and everything else. But the thing is, the real question, and we was on a show the other night, the real question is, the Arab man, he's doing all the bombing and stuff, right? He's doing terrorism and everything, cutting folks' heads off, right?
Yeah.
What has he gained out of doing that in the last 30, 40 years? What does he want? What has he gained? What was his list of demands?
All right. This is what it's not about demands. This is what goals of Islam is. So you understand what Islam started.
No.
Refugees first, or immigrants to Medina, where they wanted to kill them, right? So basically, this is what Muhammad always says. He says, just make sure when your numbers are low, just be humble. When your numbers get up, start turning up. That's why you see things like that in Europe, because they use laws and stuff like that. European laws, they're against free speech, but use the free speech laws to try to get rid of some forms of it and stuff like that.
Sir, Islam was started in the Islam started in the 6th century. Mm-hmm. Number one. Number two, it comes from Zoroastrianism. Mm-hmm. Before Muhammad or whoever you name it. Number three, we have a book we're going to read from right now that's going to called The Itinerary of Benjamin Tudela, and he documented in the 12th century who was Edom, and we're going to read it to you right now.
All right, this is our Itinerary of Benjamin Tudela. They are faithful to each other, but a source of terror to their neighbors, killing even kings to the coast of their own lives. The extent of their land is 8 days' journey, and they are at war with the sons of Edom, who are called the Franks. The
sons of Edom, who are called the Franks. This is in the 12th century. So this is way after Islam started in the 6th. This is way after that. This is the 12th century, and they called the sons of Edom the Franks. You have a problem when you start. See, this is a problem is.
Esau, the descendants of Esau have Tidan. Tidan is in Arabia.
You're still missing it. You still. You still causing a land. You still want a landmass to be a people. Yo, you making a landmass. You trying to take a landmass and make it a people. Are you American, sir? Is that your nationality? Is that your nationality? You American?
No, I'm just born in America.
Well,
my nation is.
You just contradicted yourself. You just contradicted yourself. Because just because you on a land, because just because you on the land don't mean that you from. But just because you on the land don't mean you of that nation, man. You missed it.
I'm an Israelite, so I cannot contradict myself.
You missed it, sir. You missed it. Just because you have a land, because you keep saying the Middle East. You keep saying the Middle East, and we're telling you it's the Middle East was mingled. The so-called Middle East, but we're telling you that everyone mingled over there. That's a land of mingled people when you read in the scriptures.
Yes, Arab means mixed. Arab means mixed.
Okay, so you are who your father is. There's no such thing as being mixed. There's no such thing as being mixed if you are who your father is. That's what we're trying to prove to you. So we just read to you a 12th century a person in the 12th century who Europe, who on a world around, uses his travels to look at it and say, okay, and map things out and use it for fact finding. He put that the sons of Edom were the Franks, and if you don't understand,
I don't know how far I take that as his word for it. The Bible says that he married Ishmael.
Hold on, you thinking about color?
You just say read a book that's not in the Bible, and just said this guy just said, yo, he said they're from Edom.
You back?
Believe that and roll with it. Come on now. Timbuktu don't even be what y'all saying, man.
Who's when we read about Macedonia, did you pull up a picture?
Yeah, I already saw that already.
I asked you a question. Is Alexander an Arab man?
No, he's white.
Bro, you're back and forth, man. At the end of the day, we read lineage. We didn't even deal with color right off the bat. We read lineage. We brung you his lineage directly into the Macedonians.
Yeah, you showed me one person right there, then I showed you many other things.
You
also Esau right there. But Amalek too, come on.
No. Let me ask you a question. Because you're fighting pretty hard for Edom. I have to ask this question to you. Do you? I ain't saying do you love the white man. I ain't saying do you love him. I'm saying do you have, who's in your family that's an Edomite?
Well, my family that's an Edomite. I know it was raped then, but I'll tell you this much right here.
Do you have an Edomite in your family?
Edomite? Nah. As far as I know.
Okay.
It was black.
Okay. Well, watch this. Jeremiah
25.
Yep. Jeremiah chapter 25. Start at verse 20. Since you keep pulling out the names, Teman and all this other stuff, we proved it once before via online in a discussion. We know that these folks are dark people, but you have to prove to me that where it says in the scriptures that Edom is the Arab man. You haven't done that. But we about to read this for you to show you that they were mingled.
Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 20. And all the mingled people and all the kings of the land of Uz and all the kings of the land of the Philistines and Ascalon and Azah and Ekron and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon.
So in verse 21, it named Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon. It named them in verse 21. Read on.
That's all in the Middle East.
Okay.
What white man sold us?
Hold on.
It was only Arabs. If you get a map and look up all those places where I was just looking for, I don't know. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Sir.
And that's what I was going for.
Sir, we're going to still read, but how do you think you got European colonization? Give me a break. The white man conquered all that. Come on. Read on. Sir, you got European why you calling it the land of
Muslim law?
Why do you think listen.
Muslim law, they're not allowed to have treaties. So
listen.
Iran even say like, oh, we have a treaty, we ain't gonna do this. They're lying.
You once again you're contradicting history, because the Arab man hold on. Well, how do you explain the Ottoman Empire?
Ottoman Empire.
You have keep reading. Keep reading. No. You haven't read that yet. You don't understand that yet.
The whole thing right there, the Middle East, every place that's in the fire when he's coming back.
Okay.
Back in the Middle East is all Muslim nations.
Okay.
From Africa, Muslim controlled nations, to there to some parts of Asia right there. Everything he did is on there, yo. And Turkey is up
I just asked, you made a statement. You made a statement. You made a statement, and it was incorrect. The statement that you made is that they didn't. The statement you made is that they don't put.
I'm saying the Ottoman Empire is Babylon.
Listen. The statement you made is that they don't make treaties.
Muslims do not.
And I made the comment about the Ottoman Empire.
Before you even heard
And I made the comment. You haven't studied Islam. You haven't studied Islam because you don't even know the history where Islam came from. But the point is, no, it comes from Zoroastrianism. It comes from Zoroastrianism. Out of the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman Turks, they raise up. Nah, man, you incorrect on that. Watch, we gonna still read because verse 21 named Edom, Moab, and Ammon. Read on.
Verse 22, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea.
Come on.
Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners. And all the kings of Arabia.
Why did it separate Edom and everybody else and then come back and say all the kings of Arabia? Why did it separate them? No, I'm asking you a question. Why did it separate them?
Back then, Arabia wasn't, Edom wasn't part of Arabia. It was separate. All those things that you look up, Google look for the map.
Your Google scholarship is failing you, man.
So it's separate. But then you get a modern-day map of Arabia, they'll show Edom is a part of it.
Listen.
And also, some parts of Jordan has it, and Iraq has it.
We have a map.
Because why? The Saudis not get along with the Arabians because they control the fat of the earth and they only use
Listen.
Just so you know.
Listen.
I know Islam, son. I'll tell you this right there. My Muslim friends tell me that time. You know Islam better than all my Muslim friends in the mosque. They're kidding. They just like Christians. They don't read.
Listen. The question that I have. The question that I have for you. Listen. The question that I have for you, because you're basing everything on land and black and white. We went on lineage. You haven't. Listen. Okay, so listen. So the white man never brought us into slavery. What you have done is contradict history once again. By saying the white man never took us into the white man never brought us into slavery. Yeah, did the white man ever bring us into slavery? Listen. You contradicting history all over the place. Number one. Number two, you said the white man never brought us into slavery.
I said the white man did not sell us; they bought us from the Arabs.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? We got sweet. Listen. No. It's called the Trans-Sahara slave trade. It's called the transatlantic slave trade. What you're talking about is the sub-Saharan slave trade. But to say that the white man never sold us in slavery, you're into madness. Listen. He said, yo. You so emotional, man. You so emotional, which kind of leads me to believe. Look. You keep saying that. But I'm not talking about nobody else. We're talking right now, and you all over the place, man. You gotta calm down. But look, we have pictures. We have pictures of the so-called white man auctioning us off and selling us. We have documented proof that the so-called white man auctioned us off and sold us. We have documented proof that the so-called white man was taking the natives back in Spain and selling them. No, no, sir. Okay, produce a document. Scroll up. What y'all are witnessing,
unbelievable,
is the mind state of a person in Stockholm Syndrome
all day.
And we had to subject everyone to this because the emotional tirade in which he's on, he's just said that the so-called white man never sold us. And that's a blatant contradiction of history. To claim that the white man never sold us, and to claim that the white man didn't snatch us and steal us, because a lot of folks were stolen. Mm-hmm. Wasn't just bought from the Arab man or the so-called African man. Mm-hmm. They were stolen and put on the ships. Documented facts, 100% facts. But what you're seeing is a person, and he's calling himself by the name of Moses.
King David Pratt.
King David Pratt, and it's just total
madness.
Confusion and total madness. And is now to the point where, you know, instead of having an intelligent conversation, you have somebody who just wants to rant off, right, and to make invalid points.
Right.
You contradicting history. The Arab man rose from the Ottoman Empire. They've had 12th century references that the Arab man and the so-called white man was at war for Jerusalem.
You know, also too, just to point out, like you know, Ozias is saying, the color wasn't even ever brought out. I mean, we're bringing out lineage. He's bringing out the actual facts, our actual primary sources, showing who Alexander the Greek is.
Even himself said he admitted it. Even he had to admit
it
that Alexander was a white man.
Right, right.
You know
what he's stuck in. It's called the real estate doctrine.
Yeah. Just because somebody was there, and then it's sad, but what y'all had, we have to realize is that everybody is not going to be able to handle this truth.
No.
And number two, which was a must realization, is that you have to believe at some point now that this man is an Edomite.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's fighting very, very hard, and he's very emotional.
Yes.
You know, I mean, extremely emotional about this topic.
Yes.
You know, to where you can't have a civilized conversation about it.
Right.
You know, and I notice certain guys who have this discussion and we're on this topic, they never can settle down their spirits. Their spirits never can settle down. They're all over the place. We just presented some critical facts that he can't deny.
Right.
First of all, it was lineage. Mm-hmm. Second of all, it's been proven out of primary sources. Mm-hmm. You know, we even from their writings, they have said that we're the Romans and the Greeks. We're the same people. Mm-hmm. So somehow, magically now, these folks who claim that they know they're Israel, but just totally lost and confused on who the nation of Edom is, and that's because the Most High said that he was going to wipe them off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was a shame. He wants to see the Arabs get wiped off.
Yeah, he wants the Arab man to be wiped off.
The Arab man to get wiped off
because he doesn't want he don't want whoever the Edomite he's trying to save to be wiped off.
Right.
But it's thus saith the Lord. and the Most High is the one that
He's still going.
that's gonna judge and make those prophecies come to pass.
He's got that spirit like Tony. Remember Tony?
Yeah, he's angry. Folks, bear with him. He's so angry. I'm gonna give you a glimpse.
They ever stop selling? Like in 1965, man. Come on, you don't even know the history of
He's still ranting. He's still ranting. But at the end of the day, we're gonna let him get it out. You gotta let people like that get it out. Let him get it out of his system. He's so angry at the scriptures. He's so angry. But at the end of the day, y'all just witnessed Stockholm syndrome. You just witnessed it. And once again, you can't stand before the scriptures. You can't rebuttal nothing we say.
Right.
You keep going back to you gotta know, you gotta go back to the land. Man, we know that that land was mingled with people. But we know that you are who your father is. You can't go because they lived on that land, they're Arabs.
Right.
Madness. And then I asked them the simplest question. I said, Are you American?
Right. Simple question.
So everything he's doing and everything y'all heard tonight, he has been in a major way very, very angry. And now he's still going. He's still angry. And you witness the psychedelic nature of our people.
Yes. I don't know if he's really our people, brother.
Yeah, well, if he is, let me say this. He said that he don't have Edom in this, but he's really acting like an Edomite.
Yes, he is.
All right. 1 Timothy 6 and verse 4.
I figured he might act this way because he couldn't put up names.
Yeah.
He's still going. God,
I'm gonna let y'all get a glimpse of him in a minute. Soon 1
Timothy 6 and 4. Okay, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 4. He is proud, knowing nothing.
He's proud, knowing nothing. Contradiction after contradiction. Contradiction after contradiction. Come on.
But daunting about questions and stripes of words.
Come on.
Whereof cometh envy.
Cometh what?
Cometh envy.
Come on.
Strife.
Come on.
Railings.
Railings? It did say railings?
It said railings.
Come on.
Evil surmisings. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself.
From such withdraw thyself, because it will be no end. He's going to go back and forth, back and forth. He really, really, really believes that the Arab man is on top of the earth right now, when in all actuality, the so-called white man is ruling the earth. So you understand? But all he's going to do is do what? Railings? Did it say railings?
It says railings.
Let's give you another glimpse.
Let's go. Do it again.
We let you get it out. We know. But Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 12. It's too much scholarship to stay in madness like that. It's too much information out here for us to sit here and just constantly argue about who's Edom. Let every man be persuaded in his own minds. But we know that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he is from the nation of Edom, and there's nothing nobody going to be able to do about that. We're going to keep teaching and keep bringing our people to the heightened awareness of our enemies, period. You have enemies, and your chief enemy right now is the so-called white man. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 12. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceits?
Seest thou a man wise in his own conceits? Read.
There is more hope of a fool.
There's more hope for a fool. See, a fool he may not know he's going off into madness,
right,
but he'll listen and try to discern. Not somebody wise in their own conceits.
Right.
It says there's more hope for a fool
than of him.
So we're trying to bring it up a notch for y'all. You know, every Friday we're going to try to get on here. We're bringing the folks on. We're going to discuss the doctrine. Yeah. If you get unruly, we're going to cut you off and chop your head, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is we have to rebuke you openly for your error, man. And you don't want to really listen to the scriptures, but you want to rant off. We gave you the opportunity to bring out all your scriptures based upon fact finding or whatever. And no. You had you went around on one scripture, maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you got to come out of Stockholm Syndrome, and you got to come out of that madness.
Exactly.
All right. My name is Brother Ozias.
And I'm Brother Raphael.
Lord's will. Shalom, y'all. We'll try to bring it to y'all once again. The book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We ought to obey God rather than men's philosophies about who's Edom and what's this and that. You know what? Let every man be persuaded in his own mind.
Exactly.
We're going to push this gospel as it is written, and we got all the historical fact findings behind it. And with that, we give all praise to the Most High for allowing us to even understand the scriptures. We could be still ranting off like Mr. Moses is doing. With that, we say shalom, y'all. Shalom.
Shalom.